it's kind of hard, because everything's different from your country, your regular country. But I'm working on, and I have a disability. I have one arm and half. I don't know if everybody can see. I'm gonna show you guys. I have one hand and my elbow, and I'm trying to live with my disability every single day, because I have to learn new stuff. So, but it's never gonna be a problem for me, because I know I can do whatever I want to do. Growing day by day, for the life, everything's changing. I am 27 years old. I'm going to get married next year. So I'm starting to building my family. I want a kid next year. So my life is changed every single day, and living every day to take care of my family. Of course, I'm live here and I take care of my family. I help him with, money every single month. So I'm glad if I have money to help them. So it's good. So I'm happy to see them happy and learn English and adapting to a new country. For me, it's English. It's too hard for me, of course, because Portuguese it's so different from English. So Spanish it's easy for us, but English it's so hard. And actually, I'm living here 2 years and a half, I think. Yes, I've been here for 2 years and a half, and I started to learn English a little late, because when I got here, I couldn't pay teacher or go to school, because guys, when you got here for the first months, you have to work hard to pay our buildings and everything. And English, it's the second things you're gonna think about it. But I think I started to learn English when I think 1 year, almost now 9 months when I was here, and I started to learn English for the first time, and learn and constant growing. So every day you learn things by yourself. You want to be a better person. You try to help people, help yourself, be better, have Jesus with you, believe in good things, not be a bad person. So I think that excites me. So bye now. I think I'm done, George.
That's perfect. Thank you, Taina.
Thank you.
Thank you. I've for like 6 months I've been pronouncing your name wrong, and you're too kind to even tell me.
Oh yes, because it's
I had no idea. I'd been saying it wrong for like what, 5 months I've known you, right? I
yeah,
didn't know till now.
everybody does. So
Sorry. All right. So thank you, Taina. Who would like to go next? Let's get at least one more. Anybody? Only volunteers. I'm not going to force anybody to share. Only volunteers. Jorge. Go for it, my friend. Okay, Jorge. Jorge has the best name in the class. Okay, Jorge is the only one who gets the joke. We have the same name.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Jorge, Jorge, Jorge. Okay, there we go. Here we are, Jorge. All right, let's blow this. Okay, let's see what you got, Jorge. Okay, tell us everything.
Hi everyone. That's my picks. I know it's so early, but I try to do my best because for me it's a little complicated use the computer and something like that. But in other words, for me the most important for here is my family and my job because when I came here it was so bad, but I was improving everything because my goal were always was English, and now I'm fulfilling because when I was in my country, I was thinking about it. Oh, I wanna learn English only for that because I wanna, talk with the people and something like that. But when you are in this country, it's so different for me. But it's different every day. You can talk with someone, whatever, and I'm so happy because I'm learning in this school too. I'm so grateful with teacher George. He's the best, and for me, this teacher is so good. I was with other teachers in my country, and they were so worth for me. For me that this teacher is the best. So another thing
Thank you. I
for
appreciate
me,
that.
my another uh, thing for how can I say is about my goals. I have 2 years in this country, and I think I'm doing a good work. And now my another part of the slice of the pizza is the job because in this moment, thanks to God, of course, I'm sous chef in my restaurant. For that, I can't to ask it for at the school for the moment, but I'm so grateful for myself too because I'm improving. I push me because that as I want. And for me, this country is so good too because I like to know everything about the cultures. Everything in this country is so good. And the people I know is not like when I was living in my country. In this country, the people you can see the people and you can say, "Hey, good morning," because it's so different. But if we are in another country, we need to adapt at this country too. The another thing for me is the sport. I know it's hard in the beginning, but you can do it too because in this moment, I'm getting fat. And I don't want to be in that. But for me, this country is the best too. And the another thing is play the guitar because uh, I used to play the guitar in my country when I was in the church too. And I know, but I was living in Mexico and I lost a couple things about it, but I'm trying to improve everything too. And and the other things, my family and my goals for the moment, and fulfill everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Jorge. Okay, this is wonderful. I think it's time to move on unless somebody really, really wants to share. Is it anybody who really, really wants to share? Going once, going twice? Okay, fabulous work, everybody. I'm going to show you what I
Yeah.
have. Oh, who said yeah?
No, it's me, Dash.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't going to force you. I wasn't going to force anybody.
No,
Yeah.
Saranya.
Okay. Are you at work right now, Saranya?
No, Josh.
Oh,
I
okay.
was actually waiting
Everybody,
for my
Saranya,
turn.
you might have never seen her face before. She's often working during the class, so she can't turn her camera on. But there she is. Okay. Saranya, here we go. Let me pull up her pizza. Saranya, Saranya, Saranya. There you are. Okay. All right, Saranya, tell us everything. Okay. Go for it, Saranya. Oh, you're muted, Saranya?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Perfect. Yes.
Yeah. So, like my pizza, I don't want to tell you like this is my stress. So, the thing which I concentrate more at this point in my life, so that is what I have placed in this pizza. So, the first thing is family, as everyone you do, like concentrate more on your family. So, like
Saranya, would you turn your camera on, please, just so everybody can see your face?
video straw.
Okay, here she comes.
Hey, Shash, I'm ready now.
Okay, great. Take it away.
Yeah. So like it's not the stress, it's like the thing like which I'm concentrating more right now. So like all you do, like the priority is family, so I concentrate more on them. The family is one like helps you when you in need and gives you love. So like it's not like I don't think family as only the members. It's also the culture and traditions we like. It's all together. The holidays we spend or special meals. So everything is connected within a family. So like for each and every minute, like I used to plan like what we have to do, and even the family members like since like as all you I came as an immigrant here, so I miss my family, so my mom, dad, so everyone at home. The traditions which we followed in our country is entirely different here, so we are not following anything anymore here. So like that is the one thing which I miss about my family. But whatever like which whatever we are doing right now, so we usually do it in the right way, stay connected, plan everything. So if not, so that will be a big stress without like family, without they support, so nothing is there. So that is what I mentioned about the family. The values and belief is same like the family tradition and culture. It's the values and belief like most to like being honest or kind. So the belief like whatever the belief we have in our country, so all those things I have to bring like take it to the next generation through my kid. So I concentrate more on the values and the belief. So the goals and aspirations, so everyone is like the without the goals we are not here now. So I have both the short term and long term goals. Like the thing is like staying motivated is the biggest challenge for me. Like it's not every time I used to stay motivated. So but the biggest challenge is staying motivated throughout and focus on the things like which we want. So I usually set my short term and long term goals. So that might be stressful few times, but that is very important. And key life experiences, like those are the important events. It might be a challenges or learning from travel. So I prefer to have key life experiences in all my stages. So it's not like stressful, but I concentrate more on that. So I like to have all those experience. Like at every point I used to get a key point, whatever I learn from this class or whatever it is, so I'll take it as a key life experience and I proceed towards it. And the last thing is mental health and well-being, so which is the most important than any other thing. But I try the most to keep myself mentally and physically strong. So it's all like very important, like than anything in the life. So that's it.
Thank you, Saranya.
Thank
Saranya,
you, Yash.
is it okay if I like say a little bit about your professional life?
Yeah, yes, Josh, no problem.
So Saranya, like many of you, came to this country with an incredible amount of skill sets. Like Miclerine was talking about how she was a high-ranking person in the field of psychology, and that is now working her way up. Saranya is now teaching what is the class you're teaching?
Like a web development coding class, I work as assistant, teaching assistant.
Okay, she's a TA in a coding class. So some of you, if you move on to the IT program, you may recognize your classmate as your teacher. So Saranya is not only a student, she is also an instructor in coding right now. She knows all kinds of amazing things that hopefully one day you will be able to meet Saranya it's the coding class, right?
Yeah, it's coding class, Josh.
All right, so you have something to look forward to, everybody. If you go the path of IT after my class, you may meet Saranya and learn a little bit of coding. If you see her face now, you recognize her voice when if you walk into her classroom one day and say, "Hey, I know you. I was in your distance learning class with George." Just remember Saranya and say hello.
Hello, everyone. I want to welcome everyone.
Beautiful. I know this is, yep. Oh, Lamarana is already like waving. He's like, that's the direction I'm going. Because Lamarana said he wants to study computer science. So I think you have a future
Yeah,
student
yeah,
right there.
yeah, exactly. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. All right, everybody. So gonna keep it moving here. I'm gonna introduce the next assignment. It's a very, very short writing assignment, but it involves a lot of reading and listening. And I took me actually several weeks to put this together. I'll show you how. So I like to use a lot of audio files for literature. So sometimes if I listen to an interesting story, I want to use what I've listened uh, for reading and writing. So I used a speech to text program called Otter, pretty user friendly. But then I had to read through it and then make the corrections. And then I added a few visuals and I added some vocabulary to make it easier to follow. And here it is. I've broken it up into two parts. So it's a historical piece and it's about sports. So if you like sports and you like history, then I hope you like this assignment. So it's titled The Infamous Free Kick Part 1. This is the audio comes from a podcast titled We Came to Win. It's a history of soccer in different parts, different stories.
That's Congo Zaire.
That's correct. Say that one more time.
Congo Zaire. Congo Zaire.
That is correct. So now the Democratic Republic of Congo, formerly known as Zaire, this was the first sub-Saharan African team to be represented in the World Cup, 1974. The story is about one moment which seemed really strange that no one's ever that there's different stories about it, and it's titled The Infamous Free Kick. When you see the picture, I reference the picture. So, and then I have two links right here. The first is a link to the podcast, which you can listen to. The transcript, I put the narrator down because there's different people speaking. And where you see a word highlighted, that's a vocabulary word. So when you click here, you can see one of the strange moments that is remembered. And for people who may or may not know the rules of the sport, I'm going to play this only with the sound off, just with the sound off. And I want everybody to try to guess what's going on. So here we go. So I'm only going to play this with the sound off. All right, so does anybody want to explain what a free kick is? What is a free kick in soccer or football, whatever you want to call it? What is a free kick?
A free kick. I don't know if I will find the word, but a free kick is um a stopped action. Like if the team with whom you play made like a mistake, you get a free kick to you get a free kick. Sorry.
Hello.
Yeah.
A free kick is when you can shoot the ball without being attacked by the
Correct.
other players.
Correct. So it's just like it's very similar to what's called a foul shot or free throw in basketball. So basically, let's say there's a foul, somebody makes contact with a player breaking the rules. Maybe they'll blow the whistle and then one team will get a free kick from that spot. So the referees will say, okay, you get a free kick. They'll put the ball in one spot and the other team makes what's called a wall. So if you have a free kick and the goal is right there, you want to find whoever can kick over the other players' heads because they're going to be jumping trying to stop the ball. in order to block it. And it's a dramatic moment in the sport, but until the ball is kicked, no one's allowed to move from the wall. So that's essentially what a free kick is. If somebody's fouled, they get a free kick from the spot they were fouled. The opposing team can form a wall, and if it's close to the goal, they will try to make a wall to block the ball from going into the goal. Simple enough. So the bizarre moment, bizarre means really weird, just very, very strange moment, was here.
Exactly.
And the story becomes very interesting when we look to the history about the team. But take a moment and think about what's going on. So there it is. I'm turning the sound off deliberately. So this is the guys in the yellow, that's Brazil, and the guys in the green, that's Zaire, what's now known as the Democratic Republic of Congo. So Brazil gets the free kick. They're forming the wall. Okay. So this guy's about to kick the ball, and then what? Huh? Wait, what is happening?
Maybe someone of the Brazil team touched the ball before the other
This is
player
illegal.
shoot it.
Right. So anybody who is really into the sport is like scratching their head going, this is one of the biggest WTF moments in sports. Hold on a second. He just randomly runs out, and it's not like recreation, just a strange moment. This guy runs away from the wall and then kicks the ball away. And everybody else watching is going, huh? And it's the World Cup, the most watched moment in sports. So usually this becomes comedy, and it's very, very strange. But when we look into the story about why he might have done what he did, it becomes quite interesting. But I want everybody to think, what is going on? Take a moment. I'm going to give everybody about 3 or 4 minutes in a breakout room. I'm going to show it to you again. So here's the wall. Brazil is waiting. They're going to, he's going to do the run up to the ball. He wants to kick it over the players' heads to score the goal.
Hi, teacher, can you start at the beginning?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so, all right, there's a little bit of trash talking. It's very intense. The ref is saying, stay. Okay, guys, form your wall. Okay, form your wall. There, fine. We got you. Take your free kick. And at this point, I believe they're down by 2 points already, or 3 points. So then he's about to do the run up to the free kick, and then this guy just runs over and kicks the ball.
Hello.
What just happened? Okay.
For me, hello.
Yeah, go for it.
For me, he did that. Maybe he's thinking one of the Brazil players touch the ball, play the free kick, has already playing the free kick.
Okay.
For
Anybody
me,
else?
I think maybe he doesn't know the rules of the free kick. It's possible.
He knows the role. He's a professional player.
It's possible. It's possible because
It's possible he doesn't know because it's the first time this team go to international.
yeah, when the referee, how to say that, to whisper, right? To make full the whisper, I think, and I don't know the name. Maybe he don't know. He doesn't know the
Okay.
The rule.
yeah.
All
He
right.
know.
So
He
I'm
know.
gonna give
He's
everybody.
a professional player.
Or maybe he
You
commit
have to
the
know that.
foul because of that he was angry and he kicked the ball.
Well, I'm going to give everybody 3 minutes. This is going to be a really fast breakout room. Just take a guess. Why would he do that? Because that's a really basic rule. And it's the World Cup. It's not like you're playing with your friends on Saturday. It's the World Cup, biggest moment in sports history. He just breaks a basic rule of the sport. It's like, I don't know. I don't know what else to compare it to, but it's like imagine if a boxer just got up, put their fist and just punched himself in the face and knocked himself out. Like you just go, what's going on? What's happening? It's such a weird. I'm gonna put everyone in breakout rooms. Take a moment to think about it for a moment. What do you think is happening? What do you think is going on? Here we go. Take a guess. Okay, quick breakout rooms. Just take a guess. Okay, you can join your breakout rooms now. Whenever they lost a game, he would threaten the players by threatening to find. He knew where their families were. It was like the mafia. He says, if you lose, I know where your family is.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And I'm going to hurt you. That's what he did.
exactly. That's what happened.
Yeah.
And it's just because I really like soccer and I used to play a lot, and that was very interesting for me. As soon as I saw, say, okay, I need to see that.
Wait, don't, because I don't want you to tell us everything, because this is only I broke it up into part 1 and part 2. You come back next week and don't tell anybody how it ends.
Okay. See you
But
guys
that's
next
true.
week.
He would threaten the players' families if they lost. But now knowing, but when the team was being formed, it was a moment of patriotism. These guys were playing in Europe. This places soccer wasn't big in America then. It was not like today where American clubs can pay a lot of money and get the best players. The best players were in Europe. Some of these guys were playing in European clubs, making a ton of money. But then this new dictator in Africa says, come back, represent your country, take Africa to the World Cup. And they did. And the question is, did they make the right decision? And that's what I want you to think about. Because in that moment, it was a moment of patriotism, representing, who they were, to be proud to represent their country in the World Cup. Bernard, yes, what are you thinking? Oh, you're muted. Just unmute yourself.
Yeah. The question is why he not come to play for a country?
The question is, for the players who returned, did they make the right decision? Because what we're going to learn is that many of these guys had jobs playing for other European
Or
clubs.
European team.
Yeah,
European club, something like this.
Right. That Belgium, France, and so on, that paid them plenty of money. So they got an offer from Mobutu to come play for the national team in Zaire, and they went. They took the job. So that's the question. Did they make the right decision playing for Mobutu? Charlene, don't answer it.
Not playing for Mobutu, but playing for their country.
Right. Playing for
No,
their.
I think he not come play for when Mobutu was the power, because Mobutu was a dictator.
Say it again.
Because Mobutu was a dictator. I don't remember one. I don't know if I say the good words. A dictator.
Dictator. That's correct. Yeah, we're using that's the correct word. He was a dictator.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the question is, they got an offer, they went to go play, and did they make the right decision going to play and being part of that first World Cup team? So that's what I want you to think about when you're writing your answer. But now that you know the context, I'm going to show you how to maneuver the listening and the reading. So when you open up the PDF, if you click here, you'll get the audio. And I say transcript begins at 3:05 because there's a little bit of an introduction and a commercial. Just skip ahead to 3 minutes and 5 seconds. That's what I did right here. You skip ahead to 3 minutes and 5 seconds, and I'll minimize it. Well, actually, and when you press play, then you can follow along with the reading. So here's how you do it. We're going to finish class. I'm going to show you how to follow along with the reading.
At the 1974 World Cup in West Germany, Zaire made history. Zaire, now known as the Democratic Republic of Congo, were the first ever team from sub-Saharan Africa to go to the World Cup. In other words, until 1974, the world had never seen a team of all black men play World Cup soccer. Zaire made a mark on the competition, but not for the reasons they intended. They made a mark for one of the strangest plays in World Cup history. To set the scene, it's the 1974 World Cup, and we're inside the 45,000-seater stadium in Gelsenkirchen, Germany. Zaire is facing off against Brazil, the defending champions. The game's almost over. It's the 84th minute, and Zaire has just fouled Brazil. So Brazil has been awarded a free kick. And for any of you non-soccer fans, a free kick is what happens when a player is fouled. The game stops and the ball is placed where the foul happened. The ref blows the whistle, and the team that was fouled gets to kick the ball back into play. No one can do anything until the team that is fouled kicks the ball. On the field, Zaire forms a wall to protect their goal. A few yards away, the Brazilian players get ready to shoot the ball towards Zaire's goal. The referee blows the whistle, but before Brazil gets a chance to take the shot, Zairean defender Mwepu Ilunga breaks away from his teammates, sprints over to the ball, and kicks it way down the field. He hits it so hard and so far that on the game footage, the ball flies out of the camera frame. Startled, the Brazilian player staggers back. The ref gives Ilunga a yellow card. Everyone looks incredibly confused, just kind of looking around, like they can't believe what they're seeing. I've seen this play hundreds of times in my life, and every time it's just as strange. Why did he kick the ball? To answer this question, I'm going to hand this story over to our producer, Goffin Mputubuele, who spent months digging into it. Here's Goffin.
Ilunga broke a basic rule of soccer, one that you learned playing in elementary school, and nobody knew why. But this is how the famed English commentator John Motson described it.
Amid the tension, there was a bizarre moment of African innocence.
A moment of African innocence. Years later, he would explain that it seemed the team had a bit to learn about the rules. And this idea stuck. It's been repeated on soccer comedy shows.
During the 1974 finals, Zaire were labelled the clowns of football.
Sports news segments. And World Cup blooper reels around the world for decades.
På Parkstadion I Gelsenkirchen har Brasil fått frispark.
But this explanation for the kick makes no sense. Here's why.
Our team was the best in Africa.
That's Mazemba Nzwanga. Nzwanga and my dad have been friends since college, so I've known him my whole life.
Hi, how are you?
I'm
the fan?
Yep. Like my parents, Mazemba's from Zaire, now called the Democratic Republic of Congo. And like you said, Zaire was the best team in Africa in '74. Continental champions. They knew how to play soccer. So why did Ilunga break such a basic rule and kick the ball away? I started wondering about this 6 months ago. And the more I learned about the team, the more I realized this kick wasn't some one-dimensional story about African innocence. Turns out, wrapped up in Mwepu Ilunga's free kick is a story of nationhood, colonialism, government corruption, and how 22 men were meant to redefine the heart of a continent. My name is Ngofen Putubuele, and you're listening to We Came to Win. To really understand the free kick, I had to go back. All the way back to when soccer frenzy took over the Congo, thanks to a talented group of players and the dictator who made them a team. It's June 30th, 1966, Independence Day, and we're in Leopoldville, now known as Kinshasa, capital city of the Congo. It's been 6 years since the Congo liberated itself from Belgian rule, and the country's at a fragile moment. Its first prime minister, the beloved Patrice Lumumba, has been assassinated, sections of the country are in open armed rebellion, and control of the government has been seized by a military general, Joseph Mobutu, who staged a military coup. But Mobutu's power is still uncertain. Not everyone trusts their new leader, who came to power through backstabbing, manipulation, and CIA support. Mobutu needs to bring the country together, and to do that, he has the perfect occasion in mind.
VIPs of the Congolese Republic were in their best bib and tucker. It was Independence Day, and an honored place was given to those who had helped General Mobutu on his way to the presidency.
Mobutu's plan to bring the country together started at the soccer stadium. In one of his first acts as president, Mobutu decides he's going to adopt the Congolese national soccer team. In other words, make it his mission for the team to become extraordinary. It's not exactly the first thing you'd expect to see on the presidential to-do list, but the strategy was actually pretty popular at the time for leaders of Africa's newly independent young nations. The idea was build a strong soccer team, align yourself with the team, and unify the country at the stadium. And that's exactly what Mobutu was doing on that Independence Day. And it seemed to be working. Here's Manzo Lamangale, one of Congo's most well-known sports journalists.
Tout le monde se sent révolutionnaire.
You see, everyone feels really revolutionary.
Puis on croit que notre pays c'est le
And
plus
we
grand
think
du monde.
that we are the greatest country in the world.
C'est dans cette ambiance-là qu'on se retrouve au stade.
That's the atmosphere that we're in at the stadium.
Mobutu's organized a game where Congo's national team, the Lions, will play the Ghanaian Black Stars, the best team on the continent. The game is the centerpiece of the Independence Day celebration and takes place in the heart of Kinshasa, at the city's largest soccer stadium. There's at least 70,000 people there to watch the game. The fans are yelling and cheering. Everyone seems caught up in the hype of the competition. And up in the stands, presiding over it all, is President Mobutu. This is his moment to show off his team, but it does not go as planned. Here's Lamangale, our sports journalist. He watched the game from up in the stands.
And in that match, the Black Stars completely dominated our national team. And they didn't just dominate them, they made us look ridiculous.
The Black Stars were dribbling circles around the Lions, and the Lions couldn't keep up. Here's Mokili Sayo, one of the Congolese players who was on the field that day.
In that game, they were beating us 3-0. And one player named Kofi, he's dribbling the ball, and when he gets in front of the boxes, he stops the ball. He stands on the ball, and then he salutes the president in the middle of the game.
Now, when Sayo says the Ghanaian players saluted the president in the middle of the game, he doesn't mean out of respect. Standing on the ball mid-game is like a basketball player spitting the ball on their finger mid-play. It screams, "This is so easy that I can do whatever I want."
And that shocked the president.
It wasn't just shocking, it was humiliating. You see, despite having Mobutu behind them, the Lions had one key flaw. At this point, no one on the Lions actually played soccer for a living. They were amateurs. And Mobutu's whole campaign to rally the country behind an amazing team couldn't work unless the team was amazing. So he poured money into Congolese soccer, improving training methods, and he also hired a world-class coach. And then Mobutu did something really drastic, something that would ultimately change the course of Congolese soccer history. He recalled Congolese soccer players who were playing abroad. You see, there were really good professional soccer players from Congo who played full-time, but they were in Belgium on pro teams that were much more competitive. So Mobutu issued this presidential decree that says, look, if you're a Congolese soccer player playing in one of the elite European leagues, you need to come home right now and play for your country. I asked Lamangale, our sports journalist, what he had thought of that decision at the time.
Non, nous tous on était pour parce que ce sont des joueurs.
All of us were in favor of it because these were players that had developed in Congo before, that had been transferred. And everyone knew them and followed their gameplay in Belgium. And when it came to the national team, everyone was united. Everyone was swept up in it.
And you two, were you swept up in everything that was going on?
Well, I was Congolese.
Mais j'étais congolais, hein?
I am. I still am.
Enfin, je le suis encore.
But it wasn't just the fans. Those players who were abroad, nearly all of them were willing to come home. They left their European club teams, boarded planes, and came back to Kinshasa. Why? Well, for one, Mobutu offered to buy out their contracts. They were also promised jobs in the government. But more fundamental was something else that was pulling them back: a sense of patriotism. Despite the unrest that persisted throughout the young nation, people shared an immense hope in Congo's future. It was the first decade of independence from Belgium. And when it comes to colonial rule, Belgium was especially brutal. As many as 10 million Congolese people were murdered, women systematically raped, and the entire Belgian colonial system existed to brand the Congolese as inferior. There was a sense that now, despite the setbacks, the best years for Congo and the Congolese people lay ahead. And Kinshasa embodied everything that Congo was and everything that Congo could be. Talk to any Congolese person who lived around that time, and you can hear it in their voices.
It was a beautiful city. It was the safest place to be in the world. I liked Kinshasa of those days.
That's my family friend, Mazemba. To hear him talk about it, I wish I could have seen it for myself. When the expat players returned to Kinshasa, it took a little bit for this new national team to find its footing. But bit by bit, the team started improving. And for the next 2 years, Mobutu went on a campaign to make them unstoppable. First, he remade the team in his image. As president, Mobutu always wore this iconic leopard hat cocked to the side. And so he renamed the team from the Lions to the Leopards, or the Léopards in French. Second, Mobutu sent the Leopards to month-long training camps overseas to practice with some of the best teams in the world. They also played friendlies in Kinshasa against all-star teams, like Brazil's FC Santos and their star player, Pelé. Yep, that Pelé. After the break, Mobutu's Leopards find success on the soccer field, but learn it comes at a price.
Okay, so that is the end of part 1. And you can see right here, I wrote down some vocabulary words. I'm going to make another assignment with these words. So competition, staggers, commentator, corruption, systematically, unstoppable, patriotism, setbacks, humiliating, dribbling, manipulation, corruption, liberated, and assassinated. All right. So to wrap things up for tonight, I'm going to stop sharing. Now, after getting the sense of part 1, all these great Congolese players from different parts of the world have come back and they're going through this training. They're even playing against one of the greatest of all time, Pelé. They definitely know how to play. They're definitely professionals. But when they do go to the World Cup in 1974, they look like a bunch of fools. What's going on behind the scenes? That's what you want to try to think about. But for the assignment, think about why they chose to leave other teams and go back to play for their country. What was going on? So that is the assignment. Any questions? Okay, we can wrap it up. And that is it. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, teacher. See you.
Bye-bye.